I know I don't normally do sit down videos on here. I will get back to my island and farm videos after this. However, I'm in Vogue. You can't really see because of the glare from my light, but this is me. Like, I'm in Vogue. I'm so excited. So I've actually posted this on my TikTok and Instagram already, and I've had so many messages off of other girls asking how I was able to do it. So I thought to sit down and explain the process I went through. I actually posted about this on my YouTube shorts as well, and I did see a comment saying, oh, so was YouTube just a stepping stone then? And I just wanted to address that in case I had any more comments like that. I post on YouTube for fun. Like, I've been posting on TikTok since January, and that's where most of my followers are. And I realised my little vlogs and stuff are really nice to look back on, so that's why I wanted to move on to YouTube, because it's longer videos, so then it's just more for me to look back on when I get older. And this photo shoot was in the middle of June, which was before I started posting my YouTube videos anyway. Yeah, sorry, that was just a side note. I'll get into it now. So I was actually really lucky to be in this magazine because I was just scrolling through TikTok like I do every day, and then I saw that Vogue Philippines posted, and it stated that they were doing an open casting in Cebu. And I live in Bohol, but Cebu City is an hour and 15-minute ferry away, so it was really easy for me to get to, and then I ended up going to Cebu for the open audition. So an open casting or an open audition is literally just what it says. It's open to all of the public, and then you basically have to audition your way through to see if you get the part. One of the things that it said on the social media posts was to wear an either black or white outfit, and then to keep your makeup to a minimum. So then I wore an all black outfit, and I didn't have any makeup on because I guess all of the editors and everyone that will be at the audition working for Vogue, they want to see the blank canvases that they are working with. There were 400 girls that ended up going to this open casting, and only 10 got chosen, and I was lucky enough to be one of the 10. So the campaign I was working with in collaboration with Vogue was Cream Silk, and Cream Silk is a big shampoo brand in the Philippines. Basically, they were doing an open casting because Cream Silk specifically wanted fresh faces from all around the Versailles to represent their advert in this magazine. And what we were told was that they wanted specific people with specific stories to be in this campaign. Like, you did not need model experience, you didn't need anything like that. They literally wanted new people, new faces, and people with stories. On the day I went there, the open auditions were being held at New Star in Cebu, and it said on Vogue's social media that the doors were going to open at 1 p.m. However, I got there at 11 a.m. because I thought I'm better to be a few hours early and not wait in such a big of a queue than get there when the doors have just opened and there already be so many girls there. And then when I got there at 11 a.m, there was literally no queue whatsoever because the doors actually opened at 9. So that was great. I was literally straight in and then straight out. When I saw pictures online of when it officially started at 1 p.m, there was hundreds of girls there. I thought I would have been there all day. Okay, so when I got there, the first thing they did was hand me a form for me to fill in, and it was basically just, what's my name, how old am I, what colour are my eyes, what colour is my hair, how tall I am. So then after we had our form, we kept that with us all day, and then the next step was to get measured. They didn't take any weight measurements, they didn't take like your waist measurements or anything like that. It was literally just your height. It was quite funny when the man measured me. He was like, oh, you've put on your form you're 5'5.5", that's quite accurate. And I was like, yeah, I'm 5'5.5", and he was like, let's see. And then he was like, yeah, you actually are 5'5.5". I was like, yeah, I know. And he was like, you're actually one of the only people that were truly honest about your height. I just thought that was funny. So those two stages were really quick. And then after that, they made you stand behind a camera, and they told you to face forward. They took a picture. They told you to face to the side. They took another picture, and then they told you to face the other side. And then obviously they took a picture again. So they took them 3 basic photos. And then after that, they told you to pose yourself. They wanted you to do a few poses yourself to see if you're actually comfortable in front of a camera. But when I was watching some of the other girls that were getting their photos taken before me, the photographers and the editors, they were completely fine if they could tell that the girl was nervous, because obviously they said no model experience was needed, so a lot of first timers did go. Thankfully though, when I was younger, I did do modelling jobs in England, so I remembered some of the poses they used to make me do, so I wasn't nervous at that bit. Like, it just came back quite naturally to me, so I was glad that I did have some experience about that. Even if you don't have experience, I say if you want to get into this sort of thing, still go to these open castings, campaigns, because the more you go to, the more experience you have and the more confidence you'll gain with each one you next go to. So it never ever hurts to try. Okay, so then after they took our photographs, we then had to go into a different room because that's where we were sat one-on-one with a Vogue editor, and this was like the interview. There were about 7 editors in the room and they were all one-on-one interviews. So there were 7 interviews going on at once. And the Vogue editor I was talking to, she was really, really lovely. Like, I think the only thing she asked me was, introduce yourself. I used to be the type of person to freak out if someone would ask me to introduce myself, because I used to think, what on earth would they want to know about me? However, if someone asks me that now, I normally just say like my full name, my age, where I'm from, where I was born, because obviously I was born in the Philippines and then I lived in England, so I like to include that as well. I like to say what I studied in university and why I chose that course. And then I also like to say my plans for the future. And I think if I explain those things, it gives the interviewer chances to then ask me some things back, but quite naturally. Because when I explained those things, when she asked me to introduce myself, that was the only thing she asked about me, because the conversation just kind of flowed on from that. Like I said, Cream Silk and Vogue wanted new people with specific stories. So she did also ask me how it felt to grow up in England. And I just explained that when I was younger, like I'm talking 5, 6, 7 years old, I had quite a low self-esteem. I was really, really shy. I was not confident at all, and I was really, really self-conscious. I lived in a small seaside town in England. It's called Redcar. It's near Middlesbrough. And growing up at the time, so when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, that would have been like 2010, 2011, 2012, I was just always self-conscious because my little seaside town of Redcar was 98% white, which obviously I wouldn't expect it to be anything less, like it's England. However, growing up and being the only girl that's brown in a primary school classroom, even though no one was saying anything to me, or even though no one was being nasty to me, and even though I was never treated any differently, I just didn't like that I was different. However, that did go with age. As I got older, that did go. That was very much a problem I faced when I was very, very little. But I did expand on that and I said, yeah, I loved living in England. I loved where I lived. Everyone was great. However, I do remember when I was young, feeling very, very self-conscious, not confident at all. But now I would say I am very confident in who I am as a person. So that was basically my story that got me in, because they wanted diverse people with different stories. She actually did ask if I'm going to use my degree anytime soon, because I've got a degree in airport and airline management. So I just explained to her why I got my degree in the first place. Like, I wanted to work for a Middle Eastern airline. That was my plan since I was younger, but you needed to be 21 to do that. So then when me and my family moved to the Philippines, I was 6 months away from turning 21. So I was like, I'm not gonna stay in England for these final last months before I could apply. I'm gonna go with my family, relax, enjoy my youth, travel. And it's a good thing I ended up coming, because obviously with the war that broke out in the Middle East, I chose not to apply to there anytime soon. But I just explained to her, yes, I would absolutely love to put my degree to use when the time is right. However, with the war going on there, I don't think I'll be able to do that anytime soon. And I also explained that I signed with my management, GMA Network, back in April. It might have been May actually. And that's a 2-year contract. So even if the war does end in the Middle East, I'm in the Philippines for at least 2 more years. And that was pretty much our whole interview. Like I said, it wasn't really a formal interview. It was very casual. It was literally just more of a conversation. Okay, so I was using natural lighting outside. However, it is getting quite dark now, so I've put my ring light on. So after that interview, I went to the apartment I was staying at in Cebu. And then they were letting us know the next day if we made it or not. The next day I woke up and I had a text message from them and I was selected. Honestly, I was so excited when I woke up to that message. I cannot explain to you how excited I was. First thing I did, I FaceTimed my mum. I was like, Mum, I got it! And then the day after that was the day of the photo shoot. So the timeline was the open casting, the next day it was waiting to see if you've got it or not, and then the day after that was the shoot. All of that was in the space of 3 days. Like, these things tend to be very quite last minute. Yeah, that was basically my experience with my Vogue open casting, and I hope it was helpful for at least someone out there. However, since I was in Vogue Philippines this month, I thought the only reasonable response is to give back to my fellow Filipinos, so I've organised a giveaway. I normally do these giveaways on my TikTok and Facebook pages, but I thought since I'm making this Vogue video today on my YouTube, I thought to include my giveaway in this as well. But the only requirements to enter my giveaway is that unfortunately you do have to live in the Philippines. You have to follow my TikTok and follow my Instagram, and then I'm also going to link a survey that you will have to fill out to enter. Basically, you have to fill out this form that I'm going to link in the description, because that's what I'm going to use to pick my winner. I'm going to transfer everyone's names from the list, and then I'm going to put it into a randomizer online just so it's a random winner. I don't think it will be fair for me to compare everybody and then to choose one myself, so I want it to be completely random. Okay, I'll show you what I got for it now. It's gotten so dark so quickly, I feel like I'm filming a paranormal video. So I am sorry that my giveaway is really girly. First thing I've got is the Medicube face mask. These are my favourite face masks in the absolute world, so I thought someone will love these as well. It's pink PDRN and it's collagen. Second thing is also a skincare, and it's a skincare set by The Ordinary. The Ordinary is also one of my favourite brands. So there's 3 things in here. There's the cleanser, there's the hyaluronic acid, and there's also the natural moisturiser. So for the last bit of like skincare, I've got the Laneige lip balm, and this is in scent vanilla. Okay, now time for the fun part. This is the makeup I've got. Okay, so I've got 2 things from MAC, and one of the things is the MAC setting spray, and this setting spray is so good in the Philippines. It's so good with the humidity, the heat, and the heat making you sweat. Your makeup still stays with this, so I thought I need to give somebody this. Also got a lip kit, and this is a trio lip kit as well, and this is the Spring for Teddy lip trio. There's a lip liner. That was a loud motorbike. There's a lip liner, a lip gloss, and a lipstick. So I hope whoever gets this will love this. I've also got 2 of the Izzy Cosmetic blushes. These are the jelly blushes, and Izzy Cosmetics is really, really popular in the Philippines. Actually got a few of these myself, and they're all scented. They all smell really, really nice. This is in shade Tart, and the other one is in shade Burst. And they're not just blushes, they're also lip stains as well. Another popular makeup brand in the Philippines is Absidy, and I've got 2 things from Absidy. These are both powders. So this one is like a yellow powder, and this is in shade Banana Pudding, but it doesn't come up yellow on your face, it's just to brighten your skin. This is a translucent powder. The other one is also a translucent powder, and this is in shade Ube. Another thing from Absidy, I got an Absidy makeup brush. Setting brush by Absidy, and I love the Absidy brushes. They're so soft, so I thought to gift one. And then the last thing in my giveaway is by Detail. This is the Superfine Liner Hard Wax Pencil. So this is everything for my giveaway, and I hope the lucky winner absolutely loves it. I love all of these brands, so I really hope they do too. I do post a few giveaways on my TikTok and my Facebook, so please follow me on there to keep up with them. But yeah, I'll also write the requirements in my description box as well. But thank you so much for watching. I hope the video did help somebody who is going to an open casting, and I hope someone really enjoys my giveaway package. I'll also be announcing the winner on September 12th on my TikTok and my Facebook. So keep an eye out on those pages for the winner. Bye, thank you so much.